Ebony Vaz will be joining us. She's the founder and CEO of Above Promotions and one of the few marketers in the world with an engineering degree and published research focusing on human behavior and statistical data. Hey, Ebony, how's it going today?
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Well, I am excited because this is your first time joining us, and it's usually Kay holding it down. And so, in her absence of being under the weather from hosting today, we're so glad that you stepped up and decided to join us. And I think this is actually a good session for you to be on because you are our sales guru.
Yeah, I like that title, Guru. All right. So let's discover the innovative approach to revolutionizing your sales game. Before we dive in, I want to remind our audience to stay until the end for valuable upcoming opportunities. So be sure to listen all the way through for the details. Let's unlock the secrets through our first question. All right. How can businesses effectively integrate innovation into their sales strategies to stay ahead in today's dynamic market?
So I think that sales strategies are constantly changing. I think that innovation is constantly improving. But when I take a look at what are some of the sales strategies, and again, I feel like you're a guru, so feel free to add to this. But when we look at sales strategies, I tend to think about what is going to be this focus on customer centric innovation. I think about embracing technology. I think about how a company or organization can build the innovation culture. And I think agility is the fourth thing. And so let me kind of break that down really quick. So when I think about the customer centric focus for innovation, I'm thinking about companies needing to really dig deep into what their customers' challenges are, their pain points, and then going in and to develop solutions that go beyond selling those products. And as we continue to talk, I'll give you some examples a little bit later. But this could go anywhere from value added services or providing insights or even personalized experiences. So I think when we talk about the sales strategies and how we can do it from an innovation standpoint, we really need to think about not only the customer's pain point that we hope to solve, but how does the innovation solutions that we're trying to sell fit into that. And then when I think about embracing technology, I think about utilizing tools, of course, like AI. Yeah, we think about automation quite often when we think about how we can move people from that first interaction through a series of emails and phone calls and showing ads, that type of automation, and even looking at data analytics. And data analytics is one of the best ways to improve lead generation, and it is one of the ways that you can help to personalize outreach. And so when I think about how you can stay ahead in this market, I'm thinking about what can we do to embrace technology to really streamline those processes. And for my third point, taking a look at innovation culture, I think that oftentimes organizations look at let's implement this software solution, and then they think that that's the only part of their innovation. But truly, innovation comes from collaboration. It comes from creating this environment where people can share ideas and those ideas are welcome and tested. And I think that having this innovation culture built in to your mission and your vision is going to help with those sales strategies. And of course, finally, like I said, embracing agility, like being able to adjust quickly to changing market conditions. And I think the best example we've had of that is, of course, from COVID. We had to adjust really quickly when things change, access to items change, the work culture change, everything changed because of COVID. So I think we have to learn how to embrace agility.
I agree 100%. That's one of the points that stood out to me was having an agile sales process and being flexible in how you work. This could be anything from flexible sales methodologies to leveraging technology like AI for real-time data analysts, or just allowing your sales team to experiment with new approaches and how they approach their day-to-day work and working with their clients one-on-one since they are on the front line. So every day is not going to be the same. So sometimes you got to be able to roll with the punches, like they say.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord, if we have a dip in the financial market, that will change um, how a sales team will approach things too. So, I mean, that's a great point, Ron.
Right. In what ways does leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning impact sales processes and customer interactions?
Well, of course, it can only impact if it's rolled out and really incorporated into a company. And so I think that I was having a conversation with a colleague the other day, and we were talking about how a lot of companies are trying to put AI and machine learning into processes and into various um, methods of actually trying to engage with the public. But what they're doing is they're trying to do the set it and forget it thing. And I don't think that's something that can be done. In fact, oftentimes, you know, the information that AI or the information that the knowledge bases are given could be dirty data. So we have to continue to look at this as being a process of iteration and looking for the ability to be able to never lose complete control over it or that human involvement to it. So when I think about the impact of AI, I think about lead generations and qualifications. So there are tools, we use them here at Book Promotions where we can look for high value leads, but it doesn't matter if that list comes back with leads that people we can go and do outreach for because we still have to do some qualification that comes with that. So there could be people who we think fit into this mode. They might have the right title, they might have the right revenue streams and the number of employees and things like that that we would look for to qualify from that human perspective, or even using AI to look for that information. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter if we don't have that qualification from a human standpoint. So, the information can be scoured and it can be intent data can be used, but it's not going to matter without some type of um, parameters that are being put around the information. So you still need that human aspect of it. But I do think lead generation is one of them. Another ways that I could see AI impacting is for insight and forecasting. And so we know that certain times of year, certain products are more available than others. We know certain times of year, more employees are available than they are in other parts of the year. So I think in knowing that what we can forecast based off of historical data is another way that AI can impact how we are increasing sales. And of course, we can't forget about like chatbots and those virtual assistant features in which you could either just program and have your chatbot pull from a database of information, or you can have an actual live person from someplace in the world answering any questions that are incoming from potential customers or existing customers. So we take a look at that impact of AI and what it can do and what we uh, can configure within the tool to help with personalized recommendations and offers. I think these are some of the ways that AI is mostly impacting. Um, I know people are looking at it from a standpoint of how it's changing and shaping human personnel, but I don't quite think it's fully there yet. I think that there's still some areas in which we're going to have to rely on human interactions to continue to meet the needs of the companies that we're trying to generate leads for.
Yeah, I agree. No matter how much AI and how good AI gets, it's still at the end of the day, even if you are B2B, you're still human to human. So getting that human touch and human interaction, nothing, no computers are gonna be able to take away that. Another thing, what I was thinking of is cross-selling and upselling, because the
Mm-hmm.
AI algorithm can be used to identify opportunities for cross-selling and upselling based on customers' purchase histories and their preferences. A great example is at
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. You can go on
Mm.
Amazon and you can scroll through and look at a certain shirt, and then even though you don't buy it, this algorithm knows, okay, this is what this person likes. So next time you log in, what do you see there? You may not see that same shirt, but you sure see something similar to it. So it learns who you are, and that's how AI is really good. But like I said, at the end of the day, you still need that human touch, especially in a B2B world where you may be selling a product, but you're still selling a product to another person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean I completely agree. I think that um, we see retargeting ads often. So like you said, you could go on Amazon and maybe someone in the IT department is searching on Amazon for server racks or something like that. And then they move on to another uh, website in which they may have purchased in the past from. There's ways to get intent data from that. And so that is a great example of selling. So thanks for that, Ron.
Yeah, no problem. Can you share examples of successful sales innovations that have proven to increase revenue and customer satisfaction?
So I am going to go back to I'm gonna go back to Amazon for a minute, but it's gonna be kind of weird because it's not everywhere. But those Amazon Go stores, so I don't know and if any of our listeners have really paid attention to those cashierless stores that they rolled out a couple of years ago and trying to offer speed and convenience. And of course, those were rolled out like in New York and in major metropolitan areas. But I think that that's a one way of being able to do that. And so what people don't realize is that that type of setup depends on what's called computer vision. And computer vision is a way of being able to can um, actually be able to use camera lenses to be able to ascertain what is being touched, being used, being moved across a specific area. And so that type of technology being put into Amazon Go stores was completely innovative. And I think we're going to continue to see that, right? So you see all these big box stores going to these models of self checkout. Well, the next thing we already know is there's going to be more activation of computer vision for that in that checkout spot. So people are like, hey, I could probably, just take whatever I want, scan whatever I want, but that's not even going to be the way that you're going to be able to do it going forward. Like that technology of computer vision is really being amplified and used in different ways. I'll say from another consumer standpoint, um, one of the biggest, I think, user cases of it has been like Warby Parker, because you can actually try on those eyeglass frames from the convenience of your phone or your computer. And I think that that's another way that computer vision has really innovated how to do sales because people, if certain things are personal to people. You want to get your eyeglasses, you want to make sure that they fit you and they fit your frame of your face and they're going to look good and on your complexion, etc. So being able to see that type of innovation used, you see it used on like stores like Sherwin-Williams, where you can put your paint on the walls by using the app. So I think that those are some of the consumer models. But I would like to say, like from a B2B standpoint, thinking about innovation from a different standpoint, I think that, and it's going to be kind of interesting to go this route, but I think that GE, so for any of you that are familiar with the concept of Internet of Things and being able to connect different technical tools and softwares together to end up building your own systems, etc. I mean, I Internet of Things can do a lot of different things, but when we take a look at it, GE, what they did is they took it and they did it from a B2B standpoint, and they looked at it and said, hey, we can actually give our customers different ways to optimize their operations and save costs and valuable insights. And so a lot of people think of GE just from a consumer standpoint of let me get my smart Wi-Fi light bulb. But GE really took that and amplified it so that there's a lot of big businesses that are using bigger and more robust GE products that have this Internet of Things tie to it. So I think that that's another way of doing it from a business standpoint. But even just as simple as like HubSpot or like Dropbox, where they've created this ecosystem and people are able to tie in and learn things from HubSpot's Academy, or Dropbox has had to pivot because they were the leader at one point of we got cloud-based drives and saving solutions for files and large files and moving them across the internet, where they had to actually move into doing more collaboration tools. So I think that those are some examples of taking what would be a simple thing and really building out an ecosystem so that that way you can actually provide other tools and other ways to meet the customer needs, that they build their entire systems around you. And so I think that from a either B2B or B2C standpoint, those are some good examples.
I agree 100%. Another one is, say, AR and VR. You have
Hmm.
interior designers, even shipbuilders are using AR and VR to design entire cruise ships.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen examples where they'll bring the clients into their office. They'll have the like a Google Quest, I mean the Meta Quest on, and an entire cruise ship is built in there. So they can walk through the cruise ship, walk through the galley, walk through the entertainment section, the casino, and see what the whole ship is built would be before it's built. And so that's one way B2B is working together, because you can have your client see what the final product is and make any changes. And this to me goes way beyond, say, a 3D rendering that you'll see on like a computer. This is totally immersive. And even with IKEA, IKEA has their app, the IKEA Place app, where you can see your furniture in your home. And just like we were saying with the Sherwin-Williams, you can see your paint on the wall. This is customers want to have that interaction, because you go at the end of the day, like I said before, it's back to that human touch. So that to me, that element of it, no matter how good technology is, that human touch and the psychology behind it, it's always going to play a key part.
Well, it's funny because when you said IKEA, there's always that running joke of going to IKEA and then having to spend like the hours to put whatever you bought together. And I
I
think
know very
that
well.
I think that hey, hey now. But I think though that the fact that people can see what that furniture will look like without having to put everything together and then worry about returning it. I think that is really good example of how you can meet that customer's need and actually even reduce what your return percentages is. You can reduce having to uh, actually store those returns or figure out how to discard those returns. So I think that there's so many different benefits in actually being able to give people a chance to visualize what things will look like in their homes or workplaces, and to visualize to help them make decisions in a manner that will help to alleviate and not escalate those operational costs for businesses.
I agree. And how do you feel emerging technologies contribute to creating a seamless and personalized sales experience for customers?
So I think, what you pointed out by AR and VR, those are two really good ways to do it seamlessly, helping people again with figuring out how to visualize. within their environment and then being able to make those decisions. I think not only just like that product demo standpoint, but even training experiences. So we see that people are able to do training through using VR. We're seeing that manufacturers are using VR to train people on how to fix and repair the systems within those factories. And so that's another way. I think when we take a look at like the seamless experience, we always know that there's so many different channels and ways for people to be able to sell and be able to interact across different platforms. And so I think that that personalized, seamless experience can be created online, mobile, and offline channels by utilizing technology. There's a way for you to time it out where you might do kick off your email campaign and then also do like a mailer campaign for your offline, or you could run your online ad and then turn around and run an ad on one of the streaming platforms. And so I think that there's a lot of ways to do like this omni-channel communication. And I think that that's another way that innovation is being able to assist with increasing sales. And then again, like that hyper personalization, I would say. So being able to tailor offers, like you mentioned earlier, content based off of what interaction someone had on a platform. I think that those are other ways in which you can be like very seamless and be very strategic with how you utilize those marketing dollars, how you can actually increase those leads for people to do what they need to do for sales purposes.
Yeah, and even going back to something you mentioned earlier with the chatbots and virtual assistants, you can have chatbots that'll provide customer service to your customers 24/7, and they can get to somebody after your business hours, and you don't have to have that staff that's going to be there all hours of day and night. So it helps the customer because no matter what they may have an issue, whether it's B2B, B2C, or what have you, there's somebody there or there's a system there in place that can assist them. So that to me helps with the seamless aspect.
Yeah, and I think that so when we take a look at like the how people are using chatbots, I'm seeing even innovation on how people are using lead pages and how those landing pages are actually changing, or those landing pages are being directed based off of the interaction that has occurred on people's websites. So I think that there are a lot of different ways in which people can look at this omnichannel approach and ensure that their leads, their current customers can get the information that they need to be happy with the brand that they're interacting with.
Absolutely. And what challenges might businesses face when implementing innovative sales approaches, and what solutions have proven effective in overcoming?
So, so what challenges might businesses face? Well, I think that we have to, and I feel like I can't harp on this enough, but data security and privacy. And I laugh because people who, have follow and listen to our chats and hear me speak, they know how strongly I feel about data security and privacy. So, having that robust security measures and plans and being transparent about data usage is important. I think it's a matter of strengthening how customers trust you and your brand. So it's important to make sure data security and privacy is like number one. I mean, I can't, even with all the different data and privacy laws that are being implemented, I just can't see how you can get around not trying to tackle that challenge and provide a good solution that can meet the business needs, but more or less ensure that the customer feels that they can trust you and can work with you. I think that the other challenge is the cost and implementation. So sometimes companies will just go out and start, implementing a bunch of different technologies. not realizing like the constraints that they may have with integrating with different technologies that are in place. They're also overlooking the fact that some of the technologies that they've already purchased that are in house actually have the ability to do some of the work that they want to do. So oftentimes we'll see where people are going over their budget because they're not really fully aware of the ability and the functionality of some of the technologies that they're choosing, which is why we focus on our innovation lab on how to select the technologies. And so we do a lot of the testing here at Above Promotions so that our customers don't have to spend and waste the time doing it themselves. And we know we can dive in and say, hey, these are the things that are of importance to your organization. And so these are the features that you should focus on. But hey, this is another way that you can integrate into them. And so even if this software doesn't have the technology you want to, or doesn't have the reporting feature that you want, you don't necessarily have to go and get like the $1 million solution in order to get that database and that ability to get that dashboard, because there's other tools which can connect with a simpler tool to give you that dashboard that exists. So I think cost and implementation is a challenge, especially if you don't have a technical team to help you with implementing. So that could be a challenge to people. I would say investing in skills. So sometimes organizations are so focused on keeping the salespeople on the calls, on the phones, doing these emails, that they're not giving sales teams enough time to get the training that they need to use the new technology. They're not getting the sales teams the training that they need and the information and the collaboration between the marketing department that might be generating the leads. So I think that this is a challenge as well. And then finally, I'll say the last thing is I think that there's a resistance to change. I think as we get into this place of having a workforce where there are people who are used to doing things without as much technology, mixing with people who do everything with technology, I think that that's going to continue to cause an issue with making those decisions to help bring on new technologies, adapt new technologies and processes. So I would say that those four things are the big challenges that most companies will have. But there's solutions for it all, right? So there's ways that people can overcome these challenges, and having partners like Above Promotions is definitely one of the ways to do
Oh, absolutely. Can't have a better partner. And
that.
I will say this, one thing, when your last point we were saying with the resistance to change, you'll have employees that are happy with the status quo and may not want to change. They've been doing the process the same way for years and years, but they don't realize, okay, that may have worked for 2017. This is 2024. The world's a different place. And a solution to get people on board could be to have them in on the process from the beginning. Ask for their
Hmm.
inputs, ask for their feedback, make them part of the
Yeah,
solution so they won't be part of the problem.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, that's collaboration from the beginning is important. Whenever we're doing our crisis communications and cybersecurity training, that's one of the main things that we talk about. We talk about that need for collaboration between the different departments. You're not going to get this tight level of cybersecurity culture if you're not collaborating with people from the beginning. So I think that that's a great point.
Hmm. We've learned a lot from this session today. Thank you, Ebony, for sharing all your great insights. And wrapping things up here, we've learned that integrating innovation is essential for staying competitive. Artificial intelligence and machine learning play a transformative role, showcasing tangible benefits like increased revenue, heightened customer satisfaction, as well as these things apply insights that'll navigate the future of sales with innovation at the forefront. You can check out our website for free resources on innovation. Follow us on LinkedIn for more valuable insights as well. We also want to thank those who turned in. If you joined us late, don't worry, we'll have this recording available on our website, abovepromotions.com. As far as upcoming opportunities, if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, you've missed out a couple of these upcoming opportunities. You can join Ebony Vaz at the upcoming Synapse Summit in Tampa, Florida, happening February 28th. You can visit synapse.com/ Summit for more information. Until then, keep innovating and achieving new heights. Have a great day.